panicking. And good evening, everyone. Welcome to Monett High School. I'm glad to be with you tonight here on the Talon Sports Network. Sammy Clapper along with Gary Meyer. The Monett Cubs in a triangular or a double duel, if you'd like to phrase it that way, against the Republic Tigers and the McDonald County Mustangs. Monett Cubs come into tonight's action with a record of 3-0 in duels. They had a third-place finish in the Carl Junction tournament, a 15th-place finish in the Harrisonville tournament, and now they're coming out of the holiday break and jumping right back into action. It's a flurry of activity now that we're in the month of January. A lot of matches in a short period of time. They've got the Monett tournament coming up this weekend, and I know the Cubs wrestlers are ready to go and get back to action here tonight, taking on Republic and McDonald County. The Tigers and the Mustangs both field a near full team, so we will not have many open matches during these two contests between the Tigers and the Mustangs. So I know the Cubs are open at a couple of weight categories tonight, but still we'll have lots of action here tonight on the Talon Network and on Web TV. We appreciate you joining us here this evening. Daisy Kaya is running the camera for us tonight. And Gary, nice to have you back again for another season of Monett Cubs wrestling. And the Cubs off to a good start, 3-0 in duels, and now they look to try to continue that momentum here tonight against Republic and McDonald County. But Republic already saw the Mustangs and the Tigers go head-to-head. Republic's got some formidable wrestlers. McDonald County's got a couple as well, so the Cubs are going to have to be ready tonight.
Yeah, we'll have to be ready to wrestle, and we've been a little bit dinged up, and especially particularly the Harrisonville tournament, we were a little dinged up and had some problems there. Had a lot of time off, get back, get healthy. Probably going to be a little rusty starting out here too, but like I say, Republic has some good kids, and especially a couple weight classes, they've got some real good kids, and same way with Matt County. So we'll definitely be challenged at a few places.
Monett opened the season with a victory over Branson. Then they went to Webb City and defeated the Cardinals and the Diamond Wildcats over there in a double duel. And now here tonight hosting their first home match of the season against Republic and McDonald County. The Mustangs will be up first. McDonald County fell to Republic in their match earlier this evening as the Tigers over the Mustangs 51-18. So McDonald County going up against the Cubs here first, and it looks like they're going to start at 195. And that means Bryce Logan will be going up against Ryland Hobbs, and we're still about 3 or 4 minutes away from the start of tonight's varsity action between the Cubs and the Mustangs. Some JV matches have been taking place as well. We are here at the Monett High School, so they've got space to put out 2 mats, and they've got the varsity on 1 match. They've got the JV matches going on the other mat. And, of course, coming up this weekend when the Monett tournament gets underway, and that's the 44th annual Monett Wrestling Tournament. It'll be this Saturday, and they'll start wrestling at around 9 o'clock. If you've never been here to see it, we encourage you to come out and check out the action. 10 teams coming into town, and they've got 4 mats going all at once. If you get up here on the mezzanine level where we're at tonight, boy, you can see all the action in all 4 mats.
Yeah, you can, and it's a little chaotic slightly, but that's the way wrestling tournaments usually are. And Monett tournament's a tough tournament. We got Oak Grove coming down, defending state champions. They were here last year. We have a team from Arkansas that I think think they won a team championship. We got a team from Oklahoma. I'm not sure that we have a Kansas team this year. Just kind of wanted to get it into the whole 4-state thing and get there, but it's a tough tournament, and it's good to see where we're at. This early in the new year.
I know Coach Bradley has been working in a lot of young wrestlers. He's got a lot of freshmen and sophomores on the roster this year. Of course, they lost 5 state qualifiers to graduation, but they did return 3 state qualifiers, and they're working in some of the young wrestlers as well. And so far, some of those young guys have been performing very well in the early going.
Yeah, some of them are getting there. Working well. It's a big jump, especially younger wrestler, and most of our younger guys are at higher weights. They're up there in the middle weights where you're seeing juniors and seniors for the most part. So that's a little bit of adjustment coming in there, and usually you're at a strength disadvantage and an experience disadvantage. So, but they're stepping up and figuring out what it takes to compete at that level and getting better.
Of course, some of these wrestlers that the Cubs will be going up against McDonald County will be right back here for the tournament coming up this Saturday, as McDonald County will be one of the teams participating in the tournament this Saturday. Bentonville, Arkansas, Bolivar, Clinton, Oklahoma, McDonald County, Monett, Nevada, Oak Grove, Rogersville, Reed Spring, and Willard will be the teams in competition. Now, Republic, we talked about Monett having the layoff since the Harrisonville tournament, which was back on December 18th and 19th. Republic has seen some action since then because they participated during the Christmas break in the Springfield Holiday Tournament up in Springfield. How much does that factor in to having a long layoff like the Cubs have had, where Republic's had some wrestling in the last couple of weeks?
It'll probably be a little bit of a factor. It's hard to simulate match level intensity. Even in the practice room, when we get practice, it's still different and getting a different feel from somebody else. So there's a little bit there, but honestly, for us, we had a lot of injuries that were in there, and we kind of really needed a little bit of a break and get people healed up. So overall, that break is probably going to be really good for us this year to get people healed up and a little better physically.
Looks like we've already going to have a bit of a change here on the starting lineups. Ian Meyer is going to start at 195 for the Cubs, and it will be Ryland Hobbs, a sophomore, Meyer, a junior for Monett. So we've got a little change going on already as Ian Meyer will get things started, and he jumps out to a quick 2-0 lead. Meyer off to a great start on the season. He's 3-0, all 3 wins by pins, and he's got himself a tournament championship up at Carl Junction as well.
Yeah, probably, I think actually he's about 13-2 now with Harrisonville in
with
there.
All the duels in there?
Yeah, duels in Harrisonville and getting in there. So had a couple losses up at Harrisonville. Had a good tournament.
Yeah, that's one thing when you get into those tournaments, you can stack up a lot of matches in a hurry.
Yeah. Especially a tournament like that, you got a lot of them. I think you got, I don't know, like 8 matches in or something like that. So.
Again, we're starting at 195 against the Mustangs, and Ian Meyer going up against Ryland Hobbs, and Meyer with a 2-0 lead 30 seconds into the first period.
Got a little wing and ran it over, and that was pretty tight.
And just like that, the Cubs have their first win of the night. So Monett jumps out to the early 6-0 advantage with Meyer getting the win.
Again, pins are worth 6. Technical falls, winning by 15 or more, worth 5 team points. Major decisions, which is win by 8 points or more, worth 4 team points, and a regular decision is worth 3. So that being a fall, it'll be 16 points for Monett.
So Coach Bradley making some adjustments to his roster. Originally 220 pounds was going to be open, but he moves Bryce Logan to that spot as senior for the Cubs. And he'll be going up against Corbin Black, a junior for McDonald County. Black lost in his match earlier tonight against Republic. So the Cubs with a 6-0 lead here after the contested match at 195. We're wrestling at 220, just underway in the first period.
The hand fighting a little bit of height differential here, so kind of figuring out and feeling out, kind of see where you want to be. Bryce will be nice to work into an underhook here since he has that height advantage and kind of get him jacked up a little bit. Run into that, going to run him right over to his back. That's probably going to be a fall.
And less than 50 seconds into the first period at 220, Bryce Logan has himself a win, and Corbin Black appears to be a little shaken up, a little slow getting up. So 2 quick falls for the Cubs, and they jump out to an early 12-0 lead.
good job by Bryce there, just kind of recognizing he kind of got his feet stuck in the mat a little bit and just kind of ran right through it and took him right down to his back.
So now we move on to the heavyweights. Trevor Pruitt, a sophomore for Monett, going up against Bronny Kinzer, a sophomore for the Mustangs. Kinzer lost his match earlier tonight against Republic. And Pruitt, one of those young wrestlers we've been talking about, working his way into a role there in the 285 class.
Yeah, Bronny's going to be a pretty tough match for him. Bronny's a pretty tough wrestler. Known him for a long time. You know, he used to wrestle together years and years ago, wrestle against each other. And got caught in the front head and turned over and gave up the fall.
Well, seeing the match earlier against Republic, Kinzer definitely more aggressive against the larger Republic wrestler, which he was giving up some height to Pruitt as well from Monett. Kinzer was kind of more like trying to manipulate the big guy, and the big guy from Republic was able to beat him 3-0. But boy, in this match, he went right at Pruitt and was able to take care of the match quickly.
Yeah.
So 3 matches, 3 falls.
And a forfeit at 106.
2 for the Cubs. And then the Cubs forfeit at 106. Johan Dela Cruz, a freshman, getting the forfeit. So now we will move to 113. And Joel Barrientos, sophomore for the Cubs, going up against Jacob Giroux, a sophomore for the Mustangs. Barrientos also off to a great start. He's already got 2 tournament championships, 1 at Carl Junction, 1 at Harrisonville.
This will be a good match here. These guys have traded wins with each other over the last couple years, so they've kind of split matches. I think Joel had a 1-point win over him earlier this year over at maybe it might have been at Carl Junction. So it's always a really good, close, tight-fought match between these two. So Joel bumping up a weight because he's normally 106, so kind of giving up a little size, but always a good match between them.
Barrientos not counting in the tournament victories. He had a win at Branson, got a win over Webb City and Diamond, and all 3 of those victories in those duels coming by pins, and then the tournament championships at CJ and Harrisonville. So Barrientos, a state qualifier last year as a freshman, finished 6th in the state. Is looking to keep that momentum going here his sophomore year, and he's gotten off to a great start.
He had a really good Harrisonville tournament, and I think pinned his way to the finals. Didn't really have too much trouble, and then wrestled a really good finals match and won that. He really looked good. But Jacob's a tough opponent here, so he's going to have to work to get a victory here.
2 pins for the Cubs, a pin and a forfeit for the Mustangs. We're all tied up 12-12 here, wrestling at 113 in the first period. 45 seconds left to go in the first.
Grow in on a single. Good whizzer by Joel to keep that in there. He's got to keep that pressure down that shoulder. Good defense by Joel there. Nice shot by Garreau, and Barrientos gets a good whizzer in and keeps it tight and fights that off to a stalemate.
Well, this is the first of the 4 contested matches that we may make it all the way through the first period.
Yeah.
We had 2 pins in less than 40 seconds for the 2 Cubs victories, and then a quick pin for McDonald County in their win. And we're down to 15 seconds left here in the first. But that goes to what you were talking about. These 2 wrestlers know each other. They've had a lot of great competition against each other. So,
yeah, and Garreau's long, and his length kind of gives Joel a little bit of problems. He's significantly taller, and his length really kind of gives Joel a little bit of problem. In a double there, Joel has that whizzer again. Does a good job fighting that off.
First period comes to a close. Still no score between Barrientos and Giroux, and they're moving on to period number 2 at 113. 12-12 team score.
Barrientos chooses down, looking to be the first score, get the first score. Quickly to his feet, good job. Fight the hands, stay in bounds.
Giroux won earlier tonight in his match against Republic. He was one of 3 McDonald County wrestlers that picked up victories over the Republic Tigers.
Another good stand-up by Joel, and gets away this time for his 1-point escape.
So there's our first point of the match, coming at 1:51 of the second period. Barrientos on top 1-0.
Gives up a takedown. Right back to his feet, though.
Giroux in front 2-1 now, 30 seconds into the second.
Kind of got an arm caught there, so he's going to have to fight that out before he can get back and get his escape here again and tie this back up.
Not quite halfway through the second period, so a lot of time left in this one.
Rose got that butcher there. Kind of, Joel's in a bad position here. If he can get his head up, he's going to be okay.
And they clear the circle, and they'll have to reset. 1:03 left to go in the second. 2-1, Giroux with the lead over Barrientos. Again, this is the first of two duels here tonight for the Cubs, going up against McDonald County right now, and then they've got a match against the Republic Tigers coming up later.
Another good stand up by Joel. Getting to his feet, right in the hands. Gets his escape to tie it up.
So 2-2 our score now, halfway through the second. 12-12 is the team score between the Mustangs and the Cubs.
Right. Joel pull his head out of this, he'll get a takedown. That's a 2-point takedown.
So a 4-2 lead now for Barrientos. 20 seconds left to go in the second period.
And he's got him flat, so he should be able to ride this out, hopefully, and go into third period with a 2-point lead. He will probably be on top, or he'll probably take down, so have to do something there.
Down to 10 seconds left here in the second.
Joel's doing a good job getting out to the side, staying out the side so it's not stalling.
Down to 3 seconds, 2, 1, and that's going to do it. And we always talk about how nice it is to get points at the end of a period, too, and Barrientos was able to do that right there.
It's so big. It's you know, especially in a situation like that where both guys seem like they could get away, and, you know, he gets that takedown near the end of the period and is able to stay on top and not get up the escape, so it actually is, you know, stays at that 2-point difference.
So here we go into the third, 4-2, Barrientos with the lead.
Good breakdown by Joel, getting to that arm. This position he wants to get to is get to that arm and get his wing in. Again, the length of grow causes him some problems. It's kind of tough to control him as long as he is. So.
Yeah, because you always talk about how you can use those legs for leverage and stuff, and as long as his legs stick out past what Barrientos is trying to control, he can use those legs to pry himself free sometimes.
And reversal for Mack County to tie that up. Rowe gets a reversal.
So 4-4 now the score with 1:22 left to go here in the third.
Rowe's gonna cut him and give up the escape.
So Barrientos back in front, 5-4. Closing in on the midway point of the third period.
Probably going to be a takedown that's going to win this. Somebody's going to get a takedown before the end of this period, even though we got a 1-point lead right now. I don't foresee it staying at that 1-point lead. Somebody's going to get a takedown.
And there we go. We've just passed halfway in the third. Less than a minute to go. 5-4, Barrientos with the lead.
Nice little high C shot by Barrientos. Didn't quite get his hands locked, so he's going to have to be careful.
Stoppage with 48 seconds now left to go here in the third.
Both guys are looking a little tired, which is part of the break over Christmas and not have as much practice time in. So Joel needs to kind of keep the intensity of the match up and make sure he keeps moving his feet and not get flat-footed. You got to be careful there.
Barrientos hanging on to a 1-point lead, and we're down to 30 seconds left.
Get to your feet, Joel. There we go.
Clock down to 20 seconds now. Barrientos on top, 5-4.
Joel in a front head, which is a good position for him to run some clock. 15 seconds. There hasn't been a stall call, so Joel can be pretty careful here and kind of keep away. He's got a stall call to give up before he have to start giving up points, so he can kind of stay away a little bit here.
Here we go, 10 seconds. Barrientos clinging to a 1-point lead at 113. Down to 3, 2, 1, and that's going to do it. Barrientos gets himself a win.
I was kind of wrong there. I thought somebody would get takedown. I thought Grove would take it and Joel would counter for a takedown, or Jacob would get in there for one. But Joel was able to hold that off and stay in good position and end up with a 1-point win.
So the Cubs get the 3 points. 15-12 now. Monett with the lead in the team points. Daniel Santiago, a senior for the Mustangs at 120, will be going up against William Dangerfield, who is a freshman for the Cubs. Santiago earlier tonight moved up to 126 in his match against Republic and lost that match by a decision. But wrestling at 120 here against the Cubs.
Nice little high C takedown for Santiago. Cuts him loose for escape, makes it a 2-1 score.
The Cubs have 10 freshmen on their roster, and Dangerfield one of those. In fact, 16 freshmen and sophomores, so a lot of young wrestlers for Coach Bradley.
Dangerfield kind of relaxed there and didn't wrestle the whole time. He just stood there and Santiago got in on a takedown, and then cut him, so it's a 4-2 lead now.
Early on here, not quite halfway through the first period. Monett leads the team points 15-12. Santiago the 4-2 lead over Dangerfield here, wrestling at 120. Coach Bradley patrolling the sidelines, assisted by Ben Hohensee and Dakota Greenhaw. There's 2 more points.
Single leg.
6-2 now to Santiago with the lead, and he gives up the escape. So he's trading 2 for 1 now, and that's always nice when you've got the lead. You can have the ability to do that.
Tried to go for the mixer there and didn't get it.
8-3 now to Santiago with the lead as he gets 2 more on a takedown.
Dangerfield's a little shell-shocked out there right now. He's going to have to fight off his back and not give up a pin. Got to fight hard here.
Still 30 seconds, and the pin goes to Santiago. So the Mustangs take the lead now in the team points. 18-15. Mack County on top. And McDonald County is going to be open at 126, so Sean Jastel gets himself a win by forfeit. We move to 132, and Christian Willman, a junior for the Mustangs, will be going up against Onis Howard, a junior for the Cubs. Again, we're wrestling at 132 now. The Cubs, after the forfeit at 126, lead the team points again, 21-18.
And Onis had some good matches when we were up at Harrisonville. So hopefully get some confidence going and let that carry right on through into today's match. Or matches, since we have a couple of them. And he likes to throw a little bit, so if Mack County pushes a little bit here, we could see a throw coming up. Willman.
Christian Willman in his match against Republic lost by pin, so he is 0 for 1 on the night.
Well, 2-on-1 to a foot sweep for takedown.
So Onis Howard takes the early 2-0 lead here. First period, wrestling at 132.
Have to work and get to a wrist on top here. He's got one there. He got a cross wrist, so maybe looking for tilts or working to get to his wing out of this.
Under a minute to go here in the first.
He's got the wing worked in, rear four swing, so you either run it over or look for a tilt. I should jump sides and get a tilt.
And Willman kind of got himself in a precarious position there, and Howard was able to take advantage of it and gets himself a pin.
Yeah, Onis had that reinforced wing in and was trying to run it over one way, and Willman turned down so hard the one side, and he just took him that way and right over the top.
So now we move to 138 for the Cubs. Brody Crawford, a junior, will be going up against Nathan Nadel, a senior. It's nice to see Brody Crawford back on the mat. Took a thump to the head over at Webb City wrestling against the Cardinals, and they had to go through some concussion drills there to make sure he was okay, but here he is about 3 weeks later back in wrestling once again and gets an early 2-0 lead.
That was a nice little shuck for a takedown, and actually at Webb City he'd just come back from a broken foot, so he'd been out with a broken foot and comes back and then gets a little bang to the head, so he hasn't got much time in at all.
3 near fall points for Crawford, 5-0 match score.
Wrestling at 138, and Crawford gets some near fall points and has a 5-0 lead here.
Had a nice little 2-on-1 tilt and kept it, didn't panic when the guy came over the top and came back out, which is really what you want to do. So working into a wing now. Gets down that side and throw a half and bump him over. There you go, just like that.
And this one's going to be tight. Still a minute to go, and Crawford gets a pin. Are you like channeling your thoughts down to the wrestlers?
Yes, apparently, yeah.
Because a lot of them seem to be figuring out what you're trying to tell them from up here.
Oh, that was pretty good. It's on the opposite side of that wing and throw that half and run it right over. And that one is tight too.
That's a couple of times tonight. You've had some ideas pop into your head. The next thing you know, it's happening on the mat. So, well, we moved to 145, and Jordan Withnell, a freshman, going up against Truman Craig, a junior. Withnell getting a varsity start tonight here for the Cubs.
And a pretty tall order here. Craig's a pretty good wrestler, pretty experienced wrestler, and known him for quite a few years. So Jordan needs to hustle a lot here and stay in good position and continue to move.
Yeah, Truman Craig got one of the McDonald County wins. They only had 3 against Republic and lost that match 51-18, and Truman Craig was one of those winners earlier tonight over Republic. He has an early 2-0 lead here in this one, wrestling again at 145, just 30 seconds into the first period. Cubs now lead the team points 33-18 over the Mustangs.
Working a near wrist and far side half and trying to get that, and Jordan did a good job defending that. Well, he just got himself into a cradle, so this is going to be a little tough. And it's a pretty tight one too.
And with 1:04 left to go in the first period, Craig gets himself a win. Win by fall, and that'll be 6 more points for the Mustangs. We go to 152. Desmond Hill, a junior for the Cubs. He'll be going up against Matthew Dudley. Matthew Dudley, a freshman for the Mustangs.
Nice little down block to go behind for Desmond. Desmond's a strong kid, and he's a goer. He got the half, run it right on around. Maybe ran a little bit too hard there. Let him roll through it. Right back to a cradle. Nice job by Desmond. Nice transition. Getting the knee in there, and this is going to be pretty tight. A lot of time on it.
Yeah, still 1:30 left to go here in the first period, wrestling at 152, and Hill gets some more near fall points and now leads 5-0.
Got another half, and going to run right to that again.
Dudley lost his match earlier tonight in the match against Republic.
A lot of flexibility shown there.
Got 3 more matches after this one. 160, 170, and 182. Started at 195 here against the Mustangs. Cubs leading 33-24.
Works in the cradle, and that's a fall.
Desmond Hill gets himself a pin. Another fall for the Cubs. 6 more points will increase their lead to 39-24. And we move to 160. Garrett Bradley, senior for Monett. He'll be going up against Kenneth Reed, who is also a senior. Bradley, another one of those wrestlers you was talking about, battling injuries in the early part of the season. Nice to see him getting back in the lineup.
Yeah, and he re-injured himself a little bit at Harrisonville. I think he only got 2 matches in, and then was done with a little bit of an injury. And it wasn't too bad, but it was one of those just kind of, it was enough that there's no reason to make it worse that early in the season. So.
Yeah, and that was coming off of a tournament championship at Carl Junction. So he just worked his way back into the lineup, got a championship, and then he got hurt again. But now he gets a fall here quickly in the first period, and the Cubs get another pin.
Nice little over-under to throw, which is a position that
so Adam Card, freshman for the Cubs at 170, will go up against Micah Burholder, also a freshman. Cubs now leading 45-24 in the team points.
We have 2 matches left, this one and another one. So that one right there locked up a dual win, a team win. Oh, get off your hips.
2-point takedown from McDonald County.
Burholder earlier tonight lost his match to Republic, and now a couple of freshmen going head-to-head here. Adam Card, also a freshman for Monett. And Burholder.
Hey, fought his way out of it. Good
Yeah,
job.
I was just starting to say Burholder trying to end this one quickly too, but Card was able to get his way out of it. But 3 points to Burholder, and he now leads 5-0.
Kind of like at least the fight to get out of there. It's so important not to get pinned in dual matches and any time, and it's really disappointing. You know, sometimes to not just that 100% fight to get out of there. So that was a good job by Card to get up and out of that.
Technical violation, 1 point for Monett. Match score is now 5-1.
So Card gets a point on a tech violation called against Burholder. And it's 5-1. McDonald County wrestler with the lead here at 170. One more match to compete, and that's at 182.
Return. Card needs to keep fighting back to his feet.
Down to 44 seconds left here in the first period. Not many of these matches between the Cubs and the Mustangs have gone beyond the first period.
Makes for an interesting. There's another illegal hold, so they went ahead and cut him, so that's another 1 point. So that bumps the match score up to 5-3 here. So
that makes things very interesting all of a sudden.
Takedown by Adam ties this up. So step ahead, so shoelaces on the mat. That leg that the McKenna hit, he really needs to get his shoes on the mat, get his toe off the mat, because right there's what happens. They drive into it, your toe gets stuck, it folds up underneath you, and you give up a takedown. You really got to get shoelaces on the mat and let that thing slide. So it gives up 2, makes it 7-3.
10 seconds left here in the first period.
Work his left arm through, and he can get a reversal. Get on top.
5 seconds left. Again here in the first period at 170. And the first period comes to a close.
Does get a 1-point escape. That's really close to being 2-point for a reversal. You just have to, if you get behind them, even though you're standing, you don't have to take them to the mat to get 2 points for reversal. So that was really close to being a 2-point reversal.
So we go to the second period, wrestling at 170. Burholder from McDonald County leading Adam Card from Monett 7-5. And they look like they're going to go neutral here to start the second.
I think we took down and they went ahead and cut because they don't want to get another penalty point for locked hands. So that gave us the escape. Because the next penalty for an illegal hold will actually be 2 points. Because it goes 1-1, 2 points, and then the fourth one is actually a DQ.
Well, I've just started to ask you that. I said, where does it get to the point where a disqualification happens? So
it's going to be a takedown if you can get behind. Takedown, little Granby roll.
And just like that, we're tied at 7. Adam Card has battled his way back here at 170, and he's got this match tied with still 1:30 left to go in the second.
And looking pretty good on top. Keeps looking out for that Granby roll, and he's got to keep that inside. And he can't sit to his butt.
Burholder gets himself a reversal, and now he's back on top 9-7. 1:02 left to go here in the second.
Got that butcher on. Adam needs to. He's set too long. You can't stop moving on bottom. And another reversal.
So we're tied at 9.
Both guys are looking pretty tired too. There's some back points almost. Official was kind of had his back turned and wasn't really paying attention, but.
Down to 30 seconds now left here in the second.
Burkholder's looking really tired on bottom here, and Adam's kind of taking to him a little bit right here. And
I know it's strange how the first period Burholder was kind of the aggressor. Now Adam Card's kind of kicking things in, and Burholder's getting wore down.
He is. He's keeping the pressure on, keeping the intensity of the match high, and really starting to dominate the position a little bit here. So
down to 10 seconds.
Stays in good position and finish this on top and go into third period tie score. It's kind of the way things have been going here in the last minute of this period.
1 second. left here in the second. Burholder's going to take down and try to maneuver an escape in that final second. Card will try to keep that from happening and keep this match tied at 9. Again, wrestling at 170. One match left here against the Mustangs, and that's coming up next, 182. This will be only the second match to go to the third period, and it does, as Card's able to hang on and force the third. So 9-9 our score. Monett leads 45-24 in the team points, but we're all tied 9-9 here at 170 going to the third period.
And Burholder chooses down, but kind of the way that second period ended up, you know, it might be a good position for Adam. He was able to control the positions pretty much. He's got to watch that little Granby roll and keep off his butt and keep his head high.
And right there just a moment ago, you could kind of see some of the fatigue with Burholder because he got up to his feet. All he had to do was break hands, and he had himself escape. But before he could even get the strength to do that, Card rolled him right over backwards.
Yeah.
He couldn't keep his feet.
So, and Burholder does get the reversal now, so he's ahead 11-9. So Adam needs to, you know, kind of like see him get to his feet and get a takedown out of this. Now he's going to get a reversal. So what's going to happen here? Nope, just got the escape. Well, guys look like they can barely stand.
11-10, Burholder with the lead over Adam Card, and we're closing in on 1 minute left to go in the third here at 170 pounds.
Good opportunity for Adam to throw him right to his back, but he didn't. He went the wrong way with it.
All right, here we go. We're down to 55 seconds, less than a minute. 2 more points to McDonald County, and now they lead 13-10. Card gets an escape, so he gets one back, so still a takedown would tie it. 13-11 now with 40 seconds left.
Not a very good shot by Burholder, and Card really needs to get some hip pressure on there. And now he's got his hands broke. He can get a takedown out of this position. They gave up his leg getting set to his butt.
25 seconds left as they clear the ring, and both wrestlers getting extremely tired. 15-12 with the points awarded to both sides. So Burholder back to a 3-point lead here with 20 seconds left.
So Adams really got to go. He's got to get a takedown and get him to his back. That's not going to get it done there. If he can step over the top, take him clear over the top. Okay. No.
10 seconds left. 2 more points for McDonald County. 5 seconds. Card trying to get it to the end, and 2, 1, and that's it. 3 near fall for Burholder to end the match, so he ends up winning 20-12.
Wow.
It's been quite a while since we've seen that many points scored.
Man, it has.
So Burholder gets the victory for the Mustangs, gives them 4 points, as he does get it to a major with the 8-point win. Those 3 near fall points right at the end got it to a major, and gets 4 points for his team. But the Cubs with a 45-28 advantage overall as we head to the final match against the Mustangs, 182. And who was going for Monett?
That should be
it's Francisco, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Francisco Reed going against a freshman, Jesus Acampo.
2-point takedown. Frisco, a little go behind. Escape from Matt County. Comes right in and shoots a double. Comes right back to another go behind for 2. 4-1 lead for Reed.
Yeah, Reed, although he's a tall, lanky wrestler, not real heavy, so he's wrestling up a couple of weight classes here. But the Cubs, since they moved up some other people at different weight classes, shuffled around a little bit. They didn't want to give up another open weight, so Reed's filling the spot for him, and you got to commend a young man for doing that.
Give him jump, you know, get your opportunity to get in there and compete and show what you can do. So I'm doing a good job riding on top here. Did a good job stuffing a couple takedowns and getting go behinds for his points.
He's got a 4-1 lead here with 50 seconds left to go in the first period.
It's a 4-2 with the escape now.
1 point escape for McDonald County. Match score is now 4-2.
Still 35 seconds left to go first period. Wrestling in the final match against McDonald County at 182. They started at 195. Monett leading 45-28 overall. And Reed with a 4-2 lead over Acampo here at 182.
In a shot, but Reed's just about got his lock broke, so that's good. Just bump him over to his hip and slide behind. He's got to get his arm out. Get his head up.
5 seconds left in the first period.
Oh, he's going to get the 2.
2-point takedown for Monett. 6-2.
And he gets 2 more points right at the end of the first period and leads 6-2 heading to the second.
McDonald County has three.
One of those scores at the end of the period that don't give your opponent the opportunity to score back. So Reed's going to take down. And this is where weight difference can show up, is on when you're on bottom. So you really got to make sure you move and not give that guy opportunity to get you flat and get on top.
Yeah, especially him being tall and long-legged. He's got a lot more to try to get up, gathered up underneath him to get himself stood up.
Yeah.
And then when you got all that weight hanging on top of you.
It becomes tough, and he's kind of got flat now, so it's going to be a little tougher there, giving up some weight.
Just underway here in the second period, 6-2. Monett with the lead at 182.
Humper gets a half in. Reed gets it back out. Reed's going to have to move a little bit better on bottom. The more you set on bottom, the more opportunity you give the top guy to get what he wants. So, you know, movement on the bottom is the key all the time.
Halfway through the second period, still 6-2. Monett with the lead.
Humpo has a half, looking to get a turn out of it. He's doing a good job of fighting it off. He's really got to base back up and get to his feet again. Looks like he, you know, good job when he was on his feet, so we need to find a way to get back to that position.
It's the final match of the night against the Mustangs. Monett then will be going up after a brief break against Republic to close out the evening. 35 seconds left here, second period. Reed leading 6-2. And he's going to take down.
Really needs to get it right off the whistle here and get to his feet so he doesn't have to worry about that. That was actually locked hands there. And there is called locked hands.
Locked hands called against McDonald County.
So a point awarded to Monett. Lead now goes to 5 points for Reed, 7-2.
Can't have hands locked around the body. If you're in the controlling position, can't have hands locked around the body or both legs while if your opponent isn't standing. So when you return him back to the mat, you can lock it, return back to the mat, but then he's got to break his hands within reaction time. So, and does a good job getting to his feet that time and getting to the escape. So good job by Reed.
So another point, 8-2 now. Monett with the advantage.
Nice double leg by Campo. Gets the takedown.
So he cuts it down to a 4-point advantage for Monett with 9 seconds left here in the second.
Campo looking for that cradle, and Reed needs to get a hold of his fingers so he can't lock that up.
And the second period comes to an end. It's 8-4. Reed with the lead over Acampo. We'll go to the third period at 182. Last match of the night against McDonald County.
Acampo takes down. And Reed did a decent job of riding him in the first period after he got his takedown. So we'll see if he can burn some clock here on top and keep him down.
A couple of freshmen going at it here at 182. We're underway in the third.
There's a cradle, being as long as he is, he's hang on to that and rotate that over and might get some back points out of this. He's put his knee in the back and pry on it. There you go. All right, gets 2 back points, extends that lead. That was a good job.
So 10-4 now, Reed's advantage.
2-point near fall for Monett.
With the height difference we see here, he kind of needs to look for that quite a bit here because it's going to be easy for him to get to that cradle. As long-armed as he is and as short-bodied as Ocampo is, it's going to be pretty easy. He's got a half. Oh, he pulled it out. He can stay with that.
Down at 1:05 left here in the third. 6-point lead for Reed.
Oh, he falls right off almost to his back.
And a quick 2 points for Ocampo, and now the lead back down to 4. I just started to mention, I had the thought that get himself another good move or a takedown, he could get it to a major, and then the next thing you know, Ocampo cuts it back to 4. We're down to 40 seconds left here in the third period. 10-6, Reed with the lead. Monett's already locked up the duel match with the Mustangs, but trying to close it out with a win.
All right, now got the reversal back, so runs it back out. Look for that cradle again or get that half back in there. Run him over and turn this to a major.
Got it down to 20 seconds left here in the third.
There you go. Get right in that half and kind of giving up on that a little too quick. And they really need to kind of force that a little bit and make that happen.
10 seconds. Down to 5, and this match is going to come to a close, and Reed's going to get himself a win. 12-6.
12-6 win for Alonzo Rueda.
So another, and I correct myself, that was Rueda.
Oh, it was, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. And he is not, no, there he is.
Yeah.
He's listed, no wonder he was up in the varsity. He wasn't down there with the JV kids because they did some shuffling around. I apologize for that. That was Rueda, not Reed. Because I got to see Reed over at Webb City when they were going up against the Cardinals and the Diamond Wildcats, and they're similar in body type, and I just misidentified them right there, so I apologize. So Alonzo Rueda getting himself the victory.
Good job by Alonzo.
Give credit where credit is due there. And
sorry about calling him the wrong name there.
Yeah, and he gets himself a win, 12-6. So the Cubs win it 48-28 over the McDonald County Mustangs. And now we're going to have a little 10-minute break here and get ready for the Republic Tigers. And some good competition there against the Mustangs, and it looks to be even tougher now that they go up against Republic.
Yeah, Republic has a deeper team than Matt County does, and a few more good kids. So it'll be a challenge again. You know, and a lot of this thing is, you know, some of our guys, some of our younger guys in there, while you know, even if they don't win matches, it's important that you know, just give up decisions. Don't give up majors. Don't give up tech falls. Don't give up pins, you know. Because even if you do that, you're helping your team even with a loss. If you just keep that, you know, keep that to a regular decision, you know, that there's 3 points between a regular decision and a fall in a match is a big difference. So, you know, it's important that you continue to fight no matter what the score is, and try to keep that as low as you can.
Republic won earlier tonight over McDonald County 51-18, and the Cubs just picked up a dual win over the Mustangs 48-28. So Monett now 4-0 on the year in duels. They've got wins over Branson, Webb City, Diamond, and now McDonald County. And now it's on to the Republic Tigers. And Republic, as we mentioned, they've seen some action since Monett has. Last varsity action for the Cubs was up at Harrisonville the week before Christmas. Republic competed in the Springfield Holiday Tournament right after Christmas. So it's still been about a week and a half, though, even for the Republic Tigers, since they've had any competitions. Like we were talking earlier, the layoff sometimes affects. We'll see how that goes in. But the Cubs came out really well after being off for almost 2 weeks and picked up 2 wins right off the bat, and that kind of momentum just kept right on rolling through the match. A couple of the more experienced wrestlers for McDonald County came out on top, and you kind of expected some of that. Experienced wrestlers for the Mustangs going up against some inexperience for the Cubs, but overall Monett fighting their way through and getting a nice dual win there over McDonald County.
Yeah, and you know, it wasn't some of the matches were a little sloppy, you know, and some of the couple of matches were a little out of shape and need to work on that, but you know, shape's easy to fix. You know, you can get that, and you're expecting that coming off of Christmas break and the kind of the way that everything fell this year. We had a little longer break between practices and stuff, so just kind of the way all the dates fell and everything. So you're going to expect a little bit of shape problems here. It takes a long time to get in shape, but it doesn't take very long to get out of shape. At least get out of wrestling shape. So, but looked pretty good. Joel's match was a good match. That was a hard-fought match. Both guys were getting tired at the end. It looked like Joel was not quite as tired, so that was good. So, not a bad performance coming back off of a long break like that.
Well, if you're needing matches, January is definitely going to give a lot of them to the Cubs, as we talked about with Coach Bradley over at Webb City back before Christmas. January's crazy about how busy it actually is. Things get started tonight here against Republic McDonald County. This Saturday, the Monett Cubs host their annual tournament. Next week, they're at Carl Junction against the Bulldogs in Rogersville. Then they got the Branson tournament on the 16th. Then they come back home on the 21st, take on Seneca in a duel. Then they head out on the road again, I should say, on the 26th against Ozark and Springfield Central. Come back home on the 28th to host perennial state power Neosho and Cassville JV, and that's kind of nice to see another team in the Big Eight trying to bring wrestling back. Cassville's got a youth program going, and now they're trying to get back to the high school level, and they're starting out this year with some junior varsity action. And Cassville JV and Neosho is going to be here in Monett. Or check that. That will be on the road. Correct myself. That will be on the road. Well, it's on the road on this one. I got one schedule where it says it's a home match. I'll have to check with Coach Bradley on that. Either way, that's on the 28th, coming up at the end of January. And then once you get to the end of the month, then you just got a couple of matches left and a tournament, and the next thing you know, districts is staring you right in the face.
Yeah, it goes really quick, and as like we talk every year, our schedule is pretty much backloaded. We have not very many competitions before the Christmas break, and we have just a ton of them after the Christmas break, and which is intentional, and it's kind of what I like too, because when you come in early in the season, the biggest problems you have is getting back into wrestling shape and fine-tuning your technique, getting back to wrestling, and it takes a lot of time for that. It takes a lot of hard work for that. It takes a lot of hard work to build your shape base and get there, and it's tough to do if you have a lot of competitions going on, because you don't want to work too hard right before competitions and do that stuff. So not having a lot of competitions early allows us to have a lot of hard practices early in the year, and then when you get later on in the year, you're kind of tapering a little bit, and you can fine-tune your technique, and that's not as much hard work, and you can have more competitions, and it gives you the opportunity to fine-tune some technique and then go to a match and see how that's working out for you, and then come back and apply what you learned and go that. So it works out really well with I think the type of schedule we have set up.
Well, Monett wins their first duel tonight against McDonald County, 48-28. Victories for the Cubs, coming at 113 for Joel Barrientos. He won by decision. Let's see. Onis Howard won at 132 by fall. Brody Crawford won at 138 by fall. Desmond Hill picked up a win by pin at 152. Garrett Bradley won by a fall at 160. Alonzo Rueda picked up a win by a decision at 182. Ian Meyer won by fall at 195. Bryce Logan won by fall at 220. The Cubs were open at 106, and McDonald County was open at 126. So Cubs with 6 wins by pins and a couple of decisions. The Mustangs got a couple of wins by fall and one win by decision. And Monett wins at 48-28 over McDonald County to go 4-0 in dual competition on the season. Republic up next, and again, they will be starting in about 3.5 minutes. Going to start at 220 pounds, and we'll see what happens here. Coach Bradley had adjusted his lineup a little bit. Originally, the Cubs were going to be open at 220 tonight, but they moved Bryce Logan into that spot. Slid Ian Meyer up as well, and then Rueda got the slide into that 182, and we'll see if Coach Bradley's going to do the same thing here against the Republic Tigers to kind of keep one of those spots from being open. That way the Cubs will only be open at 106.
I'm guessing that's probably what he'll do again.
Keep it pretty close to the same way.
Yeah. You keep away from that open that way, and at least give yourself chances to win the matches. So I would guess that he'd probably do the same thing.
Yeah, because you look, just going back to the match against Diamond back before Christmas, Diamond only had 5 kids wrestling that night at the varsity level. So they gave up all those forfeits, but they won 3 of the 5 matches they competed in. So, you look at that just shows you right there, if you can just fill somebody into one of those holes, they catch a good move.
Yeah, you never know.
Get some points here and there. It definitely changes the way the team standings come out. So
it definitely does. And wrestling's a kind of a funny sport. It's kind of different than any other sport. You know, as long as you don't fall behind by more than 15 points, as long as you got a couple seconds left, you've got a chance.
Yes.
You know, I mean, it just takes a couple seconds to get a fall. So I mean, you can be down 14-0 and get the pin and win the match, and it doesn't. And, it could be 5 seconds left. It can be over in just lightning strikes. So, it's a little different that you've always got a chance, but if you have somebody out there, funny things happen.
I can't remember whether that was last year or 2 years ago. You and I were. I'm almost saying it was 2 years ago down at Seneca. Or no, last year was at Seneca, because they beat Seneca at Seneca. It may not have been the Seneca match, but it was just here recently. You and I were covering the Cubs, and the same thing happened. I mean, the Cubs wrestler was down by 8 or 10 points, and they just started into the third, and things were looking bad. The opponent was coming out and looking like he was going to go ahead and win the match, and next thing you know, he made a slip. Cubs wrestler took advantage of it. Boom, pin. It was over. And that's how quickly, like you said, it can happen.
Yeah, we had one of our youth kids one time. It's been years ago, and we were down at Tulsa Nationals. He's wrestling the semifinals. Tulsa Nationals, incredibly tough tournament for youth. Incredibly tough. I mean, you get 3,000 kids from all over the nation there, and he's wrestling in the semis and just getting thumped. I mean, just getting thumped. We're after 2 periods. He's down 14-0. We're on top. Guy's just got to score 1 point in the match over as a tech fall. And I don't know. There's a little break in the action. I don't remember what it was, and told him, hey, you just got to pin him. No, take a chance. Go out there and see what happens. Don't worry about what's going to happen. You just got to go out and goes out there, runs the spiral, runs him right over, and sticks him. and honestly, that kid was so much better than we were. He was way better than we were. But he went out there, ran him over, stuck him, got to the finals. Did we really belong there? Probably not. I mean, the other guy was better by a ways. But we got the position, got there, got where he wanted, ran him over, and that's it. And that's the way it happens sometimes, And you see it even at the collegiate level. We saw it a couple years ago. Brent Metcalf, undefeated. Probably a lot of people thought he was best wrestler around there, and gets into the finals at the national championships, wrestling a guy who I think he had teched earlier in the year, ends up getting beat like 9-5. It just and it really wasn't that close. I mean, he kind of got manhandled, It was just things kind of got to a takedown, and it kind of snowballed, and all of a sudden it was over. And I mean, I'll tell you what, the whole air went out of the stadium when that one happened.
Yeah. But that's how quick it can happen in a blink of an eye. All right, we are underway here between Monett and Republic. They're starting at 220 pounds. Bryce Logan, a senior for the Cubs, going up against Julian Richardson. Richardson earlier tonight won by fall in his match against McDonald County, so he's got a victory already this evening. Just watching Richardson earlier in his match, he was the aggressor pretty much in that match and took advantage of a lot of things McDonald County was giving him, and we'll see what he can do here against a more experienced wrestler in Bryce Logan.
This guy's just kind of pummeling for position. Bryce in double overs. Both guys kind of looking for a throw.
So both wrestlers getting wins by pins against McDonald County. Now they're going head-to-head here. 2:20 starting the match tonight against Republic. We're a minute gone into the first period, still looking for our first points.
There's a lot of pulling on the head, a lot of pummeling for underhooks. A lot of lower level action. Tries a little ankle pick by Bryce. Double overs by Logan. He's tried to throw a headlock for some reason. Kind of lost it and gave up the takedown. Got right back to his feet. Needs to go back to his feet and get one.
So Richardson's got the 2-0 lead here with 27 seconds left to go in the first period.
Switch hip heist by Logan, but just turned around inside it.
Down to 15 seconds, first period, wrestling at 2:20, starting the night against Republic. All the JV matches are through. McDonald County didn't have that many JV wrestlers. So all the JV competition is complete. Had both mats set up here tonight at the high school, and the first period comes to a close with Richardson leading over Bryce Logan 2-0.
Monett has choice. They choose on position. Monett
When it's choice, they take down.
in the first match of the
Bryce needs to get up on the whistle here and get to his feet.
This is a 220-pound weight class.
Can't get flat and get ridden out, giving up a little bit of weight. A nice knee slide to stand up. Needs to get heavy here. Don't turn back in too soon. Gets his one. Makes it 2-1 match. Little pass by attempt. Kind of needs to follow it up with something, although they're right out of bounds there. Probably going to be much room to finish anything there.
30 seconds gone here in the second period. 2-1, Richardson with the lead over Logan. Julian Richardson wrestling for Republic. And Bryce Logan for the Cubs.
Both guys digging in for underhooks, a little pummel action. Bryce needs to get on the head a little bit and fix his head position. He's getting beat on his head position.
Down to a minute now left to go here in the second period.
Richardson in a front headlock. Bryce needs to control an elbow, rotate out of that. He really doesn't have anything. If he'd rotate hard to that one side, he'd get a takedown here.
Down to 20 seconds left to go in the first. Action taking place right in front of the Monett bench. Coach Darrell Bradley shouting some instructions out to Bryce Logan. Coach Jerry Morton, the head coach of the Republic Tigers, he's all the way off the end of the mat. 2-1, Richardson with the lead over Logan here in the closing seconds of period 2. First match of the night between Monett and Republic, starting at 2:20.
Bryce picking up the pace a little bit.
Under 10 seconds, down to 5 now.
Bryce got to fix his position. He's got to.
Second period comes to a close. We head to the third at 220 pounds. Julian Richardson leading Bryce Logan 2-1.
Richardson holds a 2-1 advantage.
There's the bump forward. I can give up, so it's going to be 3-1.
Escape for Republic, 3-1. Republic holds the lead in the match.
Bryce, a little bit of bad position there. 2-point takedown for Richardson at the edge of the mat.
Right there at the edge of the circle, so they stop action, and it's a 5-1 lead now for Richardson with 1:34 left to go here in the third.
Attempt to stand up and didn't quite get there. Now he's got flat, so he's got a lot of work to do to get up. Got a minute and a half in the third period to find 4 points.
Because this is one thing Richardson did in his match against McDonald County. He was good at once he got on top, really controlling the action, and he's trying to do the same thing here against Logan with a minute left to go in this match, and himself leading 5-1.
And he's got a wing in, so not a good position for Logan. He's got to find a way to fight that elbow back down.
So far, the entire minute of the third period, right there in the center circle, right on the Cubs logo. By the way, you may have noticed a new wrestling mat for the 2015-2016 season. You got the big Monett Cub logo right there in the middle.
Yeah, a lot of thanks to the youth club. I think gave us gave the school a whole bunch of money to help purchase that. So
wrestling program continues additions. They moved into the MAC a couple of years ago, and now they're getting some new mats when they wrestle over here at the high school. And 27 seconds now left here in the third. Still 5-1. Richardson leading over Logan. Wrestling at 2:20. First match of the night between the Cubs and Republic.
So Logan's going to have to find a reversal to back points to get this in the last 27 seconds. So he really needs something explosive off the whistle where he can get there. There's the reversal. Oh, but he's set.
15 seconds left in the match.
Get your one now. Don't hang on to that. Get your one.
10 seconds. It's a 4-point lead for Richardson, down to 5 seconds, and it looks like that's the way it's going to end. Julian Richardson gets a win by decision at 2:20 to start the night as he wins 5-1. And Republic jumps out to a 3-0 advantage in the team standings. Now we'll go to the heavyweights, 285. Trevor Pruitt, a sophomore, going up against Shane Piles. Piles got a win by decision earlier tonight in his match against McDonald County. And Trevor Pruitt, he was beaten in his match against Bronny Kinzer. Difference, Kinzer being a short, stout-built wrestler from McDonald County, and both Pruitt and Piles, both tall heavyweights. So they size up anyway a little more eye-to-eye than what they did against Kinzer.
Pruitt takes a bad shot, kind of across the body shot.
But even though they're close to the same height, you can definitely see that Piles definitely has some advantage in the weight.
Yeah, he definitely has a weight advantage in this match. So Pruitt needs to work a little bit and work back up to his feet. Not lose his hips.
Minute going here in the first period at 285. And a 2-0 lead for Piles over Trevor Pruitt. Republic leading 3-0 in the team standings after the first match.
We'll go back to the center, not much happening on the edge. Gets a restart, so this is the advantage for Trevor to try and do something off the whistle and not get broken down. Yeah, he's got to have better movement than on the whistle. Give up a wrist like that, especially at this weight, and you get flat to your belly. It's tough at heavyweight. You gotta make sure they don't get on top right off the whistle. It's giving up a hammer lock.
Yeah, because once they get that arm bent around behind you like that, and then start putting the weight on it, that becomes
it's
very uncomfortable.
Yeah, he's got real problems here.
Still 20 seconds left to go in the first.
You can't turn in that. Hope to roll through that. You got to fight it back down.
And it's a pin for Shane Piles, excuse me, as he gets the victory with 20 seconds left to go in the first. So a couple of wins for Republic to start out the match. One by decision, one by pin, and the Tigers lead the Cubs 9-0, and now they will add to that as Michael Taylor gets a forfeit at 106, and we will move to 113. Joel Barrientos against Sean Cross. Cross lost his match earlier tonight to Jacob Giroux. Oh, correction, they're going to move some things around here. So Cross will not wrestle at 113. Barrientos gets a win by forfeit, as the Tigers are going to be open at 113. So Sean Cross will move up to 120 and go up against William Dangerfield.
Both guys shuffling things around a little bit here, try to get matchups that they want. And Dangerfield in on a shot, going to get the takedown for the lead, 2-0. A little high C shot.
Dangerfield lost his match to McDonald County. Cross also lost his match to McDonald County. both to Jake Giroux. Wrestling at 120 here. Republic leading the Cubs 15-6 after a couple of forfeits. One against Monett at 106, one in the Cubs' favor at 113, and now wrestling at 120 and an early 2-0 lead for William Dangerfield.
William needs to keep circling, can't give his leg up. Get his head out. Don't go to your back. Gives up a reversal, so it's 2-2.
Halfway through the first period. And Cross trying to get Dangerfield and get a pin. And he does. So 6 more points for the Tigers. 21-6 now, Republic with the lead. So we move to 126. Sean Jastel, who won by forfeit against McDonald County. They were open at 126, but Jastel will see competition here. Sean Jastel finished third in the state a year ago, state qualifier for the Cubs, a senior going up against Hunter Powell. Hunter Powell won by decision in his match against McDonald County.
Little single leg by Sean, reach in there. He's so long. Gets the legs pretty easily from most guys. The other guy's pretty long too, though. Gets to the 2-point, finishes it for 2. And Sean's pretty tough on top. He really need to get a pin out of him with the team score the way it is. Start closing that gap with, getting some of our experienced kids to get falls and get pins and close that gap. He's got a wing, gonna run this over.
Jastel, one of 6 returning state qualifiers for the Cubs from last year's team that finished 7th.
Not real tight here. I think he just got 2 back points at this point.
Not quite halfway through the first period. 2-0 Jastel with the lead over Hunter Powell. Still a minute to go here, and Jastel trying to get him turned, but Powell doing a nice job.
Yeah, Sean's a little high, not getting a lot of pressure where he needs it. He kind of readjusted a little bit there and can get a little more pressure, but he's still awful high. Really wants to be chest to chest to him. And he's trying to slide down and get there. He's got a little bit lower. And so
40 seconds left.
A lot better position now.
Powell trying to get the head off, and he can't do it, and a pin for Jastel. So 21-12, the Cubs creeping back into it now with a pin by Jastel. We go to 132. Onis Howard, and he will be facing Jonathan Beckett. Beckett wrestling earlier tonight against McDonald County, picked up a win by fall. And Onis Howard also won his match against the Mustangs by a pin.
Yeah, might see a good match here. This could be a real pivotal match in the team race. Then looking at a couple of kind of gimme matches there, and then getting one closely contested could be a big difference.
Wrestling at 132, Onis Howard against Jonathan Beckett.
Beckett in on a single leg, but fights it out. Onis does a good job of fighting it out really nice. Has a quarter Nelson in. And he's got to get his head down or he's going to get in trouble. I fought that single leg off really nice. Beckett in on that shot again. Onis needs to kind of set the pace in his favor a little bit here. He's kind of letting Beckett set the pace in the positions. Onis needs to take charge of the ties and kind of control the ties and make Beckett move. He's kind of stand around a little bit.
Still got a minute to go here in the first period. No points scored as of yet. Republic leading the team standings 21-12.
Just looking for that little John one-step foot sweep there. Gets a double, finishes out of bounds. Nice little explosive shot. Got to get that in the middle of the mat. kind of a little move that his older brother did really well with that 2-on-1. Gets that little trip right there. It is. A really nice job there. So you got 30 seconds to finish this on top with a 2-0 lead.
One-point escape for the Tigers.
So a point back to Beckett on the escape. It's 2-1 with 15 seconds left here in the first period.
Well, tough position for Onis here. He's going to have to be careful. Kind of muscled his way out of that one.
5 seconds left in the first period. Howard still with the 2-1 lead. And the first period comes to an end. Onis Howard with the 2-1 advantage over Jonathan Beckett. And we move to the second 132.
It's Republic's choice. They deferred, so Onis is going to take down.
Monett choice. Monett chooses bottom position.
Good stand up by Onis. Gets away. Extends his lead to 3-1.
That brings the match score to 3-1. Two score 21-12. Advantage Republic.
So really failed attempt at a throw by Onis that gave up a takedown there.
3-3 our score now with 1:32 left to go here in the second period.
Get that same stand up he did just start this period and get his 1 point back. Go right back to your stand up.
Closing in on the midway point here of the second period. 3-3 our score, wrestling at 132. Onis Howard and Jonathan Beckett.
Beckett has a cradle. It's not a very good one, but it's going to get back points out of it. Nope, didn't get any. It was really close. Good job.
So it stays 3-3.
Onis needs to work his left arm through. Get to 2 reversal.
So a 5-3 advantage now for Onis Howard with 45 seconds left to go here in the second period.
45 seconds of tough on top here. Finish this with a 2-point lead. Wasn't real interested in riding him in the first period.
I forget, was Onis the one you were talking about against McDonald County that likes to take him down to the mat like that? Or
no.
Maybe that was somebody else. I can't remember who that was. You said there was one of the Cubs wrestlers, but he did it pretty effectively right there, but then he couldn't get him turned, though.
Couldn't get him turned, yeah. Needs to get a little better pressure right off the whistle here, not let the guy come up. A lot of pressure on him right now. Still no pressure. Does have him flat, though, so he's got an opportunity here. Should be already this out. He's got a wing, and he's going to have to hurry, though.
10 seconds. Here in the second period. And he gets a pin just like that. He got him legs up in the air, and Onis Howard gets a win by fall and gets 6 points for the Cubs. In the closing seconds of the second period.
That was kind of that lightning we were talking about. It didn't look like much was going to happen there, and all of a sudden it was over.
So 21-18 now. Republic's lead has been trimmed to 3 as we go to 138. Brody Crawford. He got a win earlier tonight over McDonald County wrestler by a fall, and he will be going up against Christian Richardson. Richardson also getting a win by fall over his opponent from McDonald County.
Brody hasn't been in many practices, and with all his injuries and stuff he had, so hopefully he can get in there, maybe get a fall and get this over with in a hurry, and not have to go all 3 periods. I'm not sure where his shape is at this point.
.30 seconds gone here in the first period, wrestling at 138. We've still got 45, 52, 60, 70, 82, and 95 yet to be contested here between the Cubs and the Tigers. Republic leading 21 to 18. Second match in a row where both the Republic and Monett wrestler both picked up wins earlier tonight over at McDonald County, so looking to add another dual win to their season mark.
Nice shot, and just couldn't quite get the finish by Brody. Looks like Richardson just going to be real content to just play defense and try to counter anything that Brody does. So, and Brody's a thrower. That's not a very good position to do it from.
They clear the circle. 46 seconds left here in the first. Still no points.
Brody getting a lot of fakes there, and Richardson really not doing too much offensively. Just kind of blocking off and trying to not give up a takedown. It's kind of what it looks like right now. Really being tentative on their feet. Pulls him down to a little football grip. Looking to pull it down to a front head, maybe a snake. Brody needs to keep his right elbow down.
Down to 15 seconds left here in the first period. Down to 10 seconds. 5. And a stoppage with 3 seconds left. And that's going to do it for the first here at 138. No points between Richardson and Brody Crawford. And we go to the second.
Republic choice, they defer.
Public defers
Monett will choose bottom position.
Brody's choice, and he's going to take down, so which is good. 0-0 match like this goes into all the right outs. First person to score gets choices, so it's always good if you get that opportunity in the second period in a 0-0 match to be the first score, which is usually taken down. Although that's not a very good position to get an escape from right there.
0-0, beginning of the second period. Team score 21-18. Republic.
Not many matches have gone beyond 2 periods this evening for any of the contests, but
Richardson doing a good job against that hammer lock.
right now this one, no points scored as of yet at 138, and we're in the second period.
Brody needs to work for 1 point here. Wrestle up, go for 1.
And as he was trying to fight to his feet, Christian Richardson got him over on his back and gets a win by pin.
Yeah, you gotta fight for escape there, not reach up, grab the head. You reach up, grab the head in bad positions like that, and you go to your back, and bad things happen.
So we go to 145, Jordan Withnell against Riley Woodring. Withnell lost his match earlier tonight to McDonald County. Woodring also lost his match, both going up against Truman Craig, and you talked about how good a wrestler Truman Craig is, so he's picked up wins tonight over both of these wrestlers, and now they're competing to try to pick up a win.
And this is going to be a big match for Monett. We need Jordan needs to step up and get us a win here.
Yeah, because you've reached the midway point now of the matches and starting to move into that second half, and Monett trailing Republic 27-18.
I think actually Republic probably is going to have their better wrestlers coming up. So this is going to be a big match. Really need to get a win here.
Glad to be with you tonight here from Monett High School on the Talon Sports Network, MonettWebTV.com. Sammy Clapper and Gary Meyer. Daisy Kaya is running the camera for us tonight. We hope to get some more wrestling for the Cubs on the Monett Web TV channel as we move through the month of January. In fact, we're looking at maybe every Thursday for the next 2 or 3 weeks having some Monett Cubs wrestling here on Web TV. We'll Keep you posted on how that goes. Cubs got the Monett tournament this weekend, and then they are at Carl Junction next Thursday.
Good stand up by Jordan there and getting his escape, cutting it back to 2-1.
50 seconds left to go here in the first period. Wrestling at 145.
A little better job moving his feet, running through that double. Did a good job running through that double.
So Withnell back on top, 3-2 now over Woodring with 30 seconds left here in the first period.
Ride this out and go in the next period with a lead. And he's got to the wrist, so that's a good thing.
Down to 15 seconds left here in the first period.
I can't cut him loose.
And Woodring gets an escape, and now the match tied at 3.
Really got to fight harder to finish that ride on top there.
First period comes to a close. 3-3 our score between Jordan Withnell and Riley Woodring. Republic leading the Cubs 27-18 in the team standings. We've still got 52, 60, 70, 82, and 95. 5 more matches after this one.
Very good stand-up by Jordan. He gets an escape point to a 4-3 lead. Gets that double again. Jordan slide behind. Oh, had a good opportunity there. And on that kind of sloppy high C shot again. Jordan's got to get his hips up. Nice. I got behind for the 2. A little better job that time.
So 6-3 now, Withnell with the lead with 1:18 left to go here in the second. I got to get a little near fall points. A little cheap tilt off the. So it gets 2 near fall. So 8-3 Withnell's lead now grows to 5 midway through the second.
Get that near wrist. Look for a little pressure on it. A circle out there. Get his other hand on this side. Did a good job.
47 seconds left here in the second period. Jordan Withnell with an 8-3 lead over Riley Woodring.
Woodring a good job getting up.
So the advantage now cut to 4. 8-4 Withnell with the lead with 30 seconds left.
You understand the kid's taking that same shot every time. What's the other side that time? He's got to get his arm back. 8-6 now.
So it's went from a 5-point lead down to a 2-point lead with 11 seconds left here in the second period. Withnell gets an escape right at the buzzer and gets 1 point back, so it's 9-6. Withnell's lead, 3 points as we head to the third.
Public's choice. Looks like they're going to take down. So Sherlock gets to see that good hard ride on top. Maybe gets that little tilt again like he did before and get some back points out of it. Good job following. He's got to get his pressure on him. He's got a good deep half. He's going to get a turn. That's pretty deep. It's going to be there for a long time.
Yeah, there's 1:40 left to go in this third, and Withnell.
He just needs to relax a little bit here, not try too hard to pin him right now.
So 3 near fall for the Cubs. Withnell's point total goes to 12, and Woodring gets a point for escape, so his goes to 7. So it's 12-7. Withnell with the lead here with 1:25 left to go. Boy, a pin would have been huge right there to pick up 6 points.
That would have been huge. He just tried too hard to finish. You're in a great position. You just got to slow down and just let the finish go out. You don't have to run him over. Just got to you got a minute and a half to go. You just got to slowly suck him down and then get the fall. It doesn't have to happen the next 5 seconds. So he's a little over anxious there and put himself in a bad position.
2 points on the takedown, so it's 14-7 now with Nils lead at 7, so another point and he can move it to a major. But Woodring gets an escape, and so the lead back down to 6. 1 minute left here in the third period, wrestling at 1:45.
Jordan's looking really tired here.
Less than a minute to go here in the third. Cubs trailing 27-18. Overall in the points, but Withnell leading this match over Woodring 14-8.
Now on that single again, it's going to get the takedown.
2-point takedown, Republic, 14-10.
So it's 14-10 now with Woodring getting the takedown, and now the action is stopped as they get to the edge of the circle. 31 seconds left here in the third.
31 seconds left, 14-10, Monett.
Get right to a stand up here, and right, get your stand up.
Now trying to break it, he does. He gets the escape. 15-10 now. Withnell's lead at 5 with 20 seconds left. Woodring needing a pin now and a 2-point reversal, but time is going to run out, I believe, before he can get it to a major. It's at 7 right now, and we're down to 1. And did he get a point there? Nope, he did not. So it
not quite enough time.
It stays at 17-10. A nice win for Jordan Withnell as he gets the victory by decision and gets 3 points for the Cubs. 27-21. So now a fall separates the two as we move to 152. Desmond Hill against Brandon O'Connell. Hill picked up a win by fall against his match versus the Mustangs. O'Connell also won by fall in his match against McDonald County.
O'Connell's a good wrestler and really experienced and a strong kid. And Desmond's a strong kid, but he lacks on experience, but he's a goer. So
2-point takedown for Monett.
This match has started with a flurry of action. They are both going at it right now.
yeah, this will probably be full of action. Both guys are goers, and it's going to be an interesting match.
O'Connell jumps out to a quick 6-0 lead. We're only 40 seconds into the first period. Now things have slowed quite a bit after that burst of energy to start.
Yeah, it's quite a start. Both guys going there. Got the legs in here, which is going to slow things down a lot with getting a leg in. Desmond actually needs to take him the other way.
And O'Connell accomplished part of what he was trying to do. He got that quick point total, and he's got 6-0 lead. 27-21, Republic leading Monett in the team standings. And O'Connell leading 6-0 here over Desmond Hill at 152. They've still got 160, 170, 182, and 195 yet to come.
Breakdown, O'Connell works to a wing. Got a wing and a wrist. Problem for Desmond here. Desmond's a strong, determined kid, though. He's not going to go over easy. Good job by Desmond fighting that off. That's just want to right there. So just deciding that I'm not going to go over.
15 seconds left here in the first period. Clock down to 5 seconds. And after 6 points being scored by O'Connell in the first 30 seconds of the match, that's the way we end the first. 6-0. O'Connell with the lead over Desmond Hill as we move to period number 2.
Republic defers again. Desmond's going to go down. Needs to really get something going right on the whistle here and not let O'Connell get the legs in again and control that match. He can't leave his arm back there. O'Connell does a good job getting the legs back in, looking for a Turk. O'Connell looking to get to an arm bar. Can't quite get to it. Desmond's fighting stuff off pretty good, but he's got to get based up. O'Connell has that leg in, keeping him pretty flat, keeping a lot of hip pressure on him.
1:20 left to go here in the second period. Still a 6-0 lead for O'Connell.
He's getting some back points.
We'll see how many he gets here.
Probably got 3.
Just got 2. So an 8-0 lead now for O'Connell with 1:05 left to go in the second.
Did a good job with the legs by O'Connell. Get 3 back points that time.
So the 3 points awarded. It's 11-0, so it's already at a major for O'Connell. It's one of the first matches tonight where we've seen a wrestler, for anybody really use his legs.
Yeah.
The way O'Connell is to control things. And he gets a pin.
Man, 10 seconds left.
Hill trying to fight his way to the end of the period, but with 10 seconds left to go in the second, Brandon O'Connell wins by fall, and the Republic lead goes to 33-21. So we move to 160. Garrett Bradley for the Cubs against Ian Malone for Republic. Both wrestlers picking up wins tonight over McDonald County and both winning by fall. So for the third match in a row, we've got a couple of wrestlers that have not only won tonight, but won by pins going head-to-head. Previous 2 matches have been split. Monett winning 1 and Republic winning 1. We'll see what happens here. Bradley against Malone.
A good movement by Garrett there. Getting that, and a little side through, and then look for a little throw, and then ran right through it. Garrett's a pretty good thrower. He kind of understands a little bit better about when to hit it and when not to, and when he goes pretty well, he can throw a little bit. He's kind of looking for that over/under lat drop throw here.
Early on here in the first period at 160.
And here comes probably a little Kelly move. He's pretty good from this position. The guy's backing out instead of pressuring into it though.
And we've reached the midway point of period 1. Less than a minute to go. Still no score on the board. Wrestling at 160. 3 more matches left between the Cubs and the Tigers. Republic leading 33-21.
Garrett's really controlling the positions here, and it looks like Republic is just kind of blocking off and wanting to stay off, and really not trying to initiate much offense whatsoever. Garrett going to a little Kelly. Gets right to it.
Malone trying to keep the back arched and keep that bridge going, and Bradley trying to get him on the mat, and there's still 20 seconds, and he gets the pin. Good job by Bradley picking up another victory tonight. So there's a big 6 points for the Cubs. That gets it down to a 33-21 29-27 advantage for Republic. We're back to a fall separating the two teams with 3 matches left. And we go to 170. Adam Card against Hunter Pyle. Hunter Pyle won by fall earlier tonight. Adam Card lost by decision.
Hunter actually wrestled here for all the while growing up, and they moved to Republic a couple years ago. So he came all the way through here, and actually him and the O'Connell kid used to come over here. Even after he'd moved, they'd come back over here and practice with us in the off seasons.
Hunter Pyle trying to make quick work of this match at 170. Still a minute and a half left to go, and he's got Card pinned. So the 6 points go right back to the Tigers, and they lead at 39-27. 2 matches remaining now.
At 180 pounds for Monett, Ian Meyer. For Republic, Austin Nobit.
So Ian Meyer will wrestle at 182 here against the Tigers. And he will be going up against Austin Noblet. Meyer wrestled at 195 against McDonald County, got a win, but now wrestling at 182.
And Noblet's one of Republic's better wrestlers here, so this should be a pretty exciting match. A good match for both kids here.
Both wrestlers winning by pin earlier tonight in their matches against the Mustangs. Wrestling at 182 here, Republic leading 39-27 in the team points, just underway at 182. We still got 195 left.
Both guys just kind of feeling each other out here. A little elbow pass. Little action going on, not much scoring going on. A lot of fighting for position.
And you see that a lot with 2 very experienced wrestlers too, don't you? Really trying to outmaneuver each other and kind of get a feel for what the other guy's trying to do against you. When you get a couple of guys with a lot of experience, I've noticed that, I mean, there's not a lot of in between. It's either they go right at each other or they're kind of testing and feeling each other out.
Yeah, kind of seeing the position you want to be and where he wants to be. And
under a minute to go here in the first period, wrestling at 182. Ian Meyer and Austin Noblet. Still no score.
seconds. A lot of out of bounds.
Back to the center of the ring they go again. Meyer keeps going after Noblet's legs, but Noblet did a good job fending him off.
Yeah, he's kind of wanting to get that front head position and work out of that. It's not going to be anything here. It's going to be out of bounds. Ian works back in. He's got a little arm drag.
Down to 10 seconds left here in the first. And they clear the circle again, stop the clock with 4 seconds left.
Pretty close to takedown there. Happened in the middle of the mat. I think Ian ends up with that takedown, but they're on the edge, so.
And the two are going to be content to let the first period come to a close. So we head to period number 2 at 182. Ian Meyer and Austin Noblet, no score. Ian Meyer's going to take down here to start the second period.
Needs to get right to his stand-up, get to his feet. Ian working to get a Peterson out of this. You can get it if you can get it rotated.
.30 seconds gone here in the second period. Still looking for our first points of this match at 182 between Noblet and Meyer.
a pretty good opportunity there and just couldn't quite get finished. And he's worked back to his feet and create something. Get his escape, get his one.
There we go. First point coming at 1:07 of second period. Ian Meyer going out in front of Austin Noblet. One more match at 2:20 left here between Monett and Republic, but I don't see anybody really loosening up or warming up right now. Monett was originally going to be open at 2:20. They did some shuffling of their lineup against McDonald County, and Ian Meyer moved up, and then Bryce Logan conversely moved up as well. But with Republic leading 39-27, this might be the final contested match of the night.
Yeah.
Of course, if Meyer gets a pin, then you're back to 6 points, but we'll see what happens.
Got a lock. He might get finished on this takedown here if he can get rotated to it.
Still got 30 seconds here in the second period.
A lot of scrambling around. Not much scoring going on. Ian had a good position there and kind of gave it up. And he's kind of getting in there a little bit too. Looks like he's kind of hurt his elbow a little bit. He needs to really hang on to this position.
Is that not the same one he hurt last year?
Yeah, I think it is.
12 seconds left here in the second period.
Sure if it's his elbow or his shoulder. He's had problems with both his left elbow and shoulder. So
1-0. Meyer with the lead here. 10 seconds left in the second. Five seconds. Noblet gets 2 right at the buzzer, and then he gets 2 quick near fall, and just like that, it goes 4-1 Noblet. And Meyer's arm is giving him some problems right now.
Yeah, that wasn't very good. Give up 4 points right at the buzzer. He's really got his work cut out for him now.
So 4-1, Noblet with the lead at 182 as we head to the third.
And this position Ian wants to be, he's pretty good on top, so.
Minute 31 left to go here in the third.
And it's going to be a reversal on back points for Noblet. He's got to find a way to get off his back here.
Got 2 points. So 6-1, Noblet's lead, and he gets 3 near falls, so it goes to 9-1, and it's jumped out to a major now here with 1:09 left to go in the third. 9 unanswered points for Noblet. We're down to a minute to go, third period. Down to 45 seconds left in the third. Tumbling towards the edge of the circle, and now the match is stopped with 40 seconds left to go in the third. It's amazing how much Meyer is able to do just with one arm right now.
Yeah, I don't think
because Noblet is trying to get him over on that sore shoulder, and Meyer just keeps pushing himself off of it. Closing in on 30 seconds left here in the third.
He's going to have to get something going. He's get this Peterson here.
Down to 20 seconds. Noblet trying to hang on to his lead. Clock down, closing in on 10 seconds. And we're down to 5. Wrestling at 182, and that's going to do it. Austin Noblet picks up the win by decision. And that is 4 points to the Tigers, 43-27. And we'll see what Coach Bradley does. They are going to stay open. at 195, so Logan had moved up to 220, and 195 remains open, and that's going to do it.
Which safe travels to the Republic fans, parents, and wrestlers.
Yeah, it's just, you know, we had some matches there, kind of swing matches, and just didn't get them done, and ended up taking the loss because of it. You know, gave up some pins and some majors where we probably shouldn't have, and make some big difference in the final team score.
Wrestling will begin roughly around 9 o'clock.
So 49-27 ends up being the final score. Republic with the victory, handing the Cubs their first dual loss of the season. Monett falling to 4-1 now in dual competition. So Republic comes in and sweeps their duels tonight, defeating McDonald County 51-18, and they defeat the Cubs 49.
Probably be 47. The last one's a major, so it'd be 4 points.
4 points, 47. 47-27. So Cubs split the duels here this evening. They beat the Mustangs 48-28, fall to Republic 47-27. And Monett will next be in action. Monett Invitational Tournament coming up this Saturday. It's always a great event. It's the 44th annual Monett Wrestling Tournament. 10 teams will be coming here to Monett High School for competition. Bentonville, Arkansas, Bolivar, Clinton, Oklahoma, McDonald County, Monett, Nevada, Oak Grove, Rogersville, Reed Spring, and Willard will all be here. They'll have 4 mats set up, and it'll be action wall to wall here. They keep the bleachers pushed up on one side of the gymnasium and spread 4 mats out across the floor, and it's always a great time, and hopefully you're able to come out and enjoy some of the high school wrestling this Saturday. The wrestling starts at 9 a.m., and it will go all day long here at the Monett High School. We hope to get a word with Coach Bradley. He's over visiting with his team right now as they make preparations for the Monett Wrestling Tournament coming up this weekend. We talked about going into the match against Republic after a nice win over McDonald County. Republic with a lot of experienced wrestlers, and they came away with a big win over McDonald County and then come away with a win over the Cubs here this evening. And what you and I were talking about, when they meet, or when Monett and Republic got in those middle matches there, when they were like at 5, 6, 7, and 8, they started at 220. But when they got to the 5th, 6th, 7th match, Cubs had some opportunities there to get some points, and things just didn't go their way, and that's kind of where the match turned to Republic's favor.
Yeah. And their middle to middle upper weights are the strength of their team, and so we really need to get some of those matches going into that and get some wins there, and just didn't get it done.
Wins for the Cubs here tonight against Republic: Sean Jastel at 126, Onis Howard at 132, Jordan Withnell at 145, Garrett Bradley at 160. And it looks like that was it. Joe Barrientos got a win by forfeit, but of the contested matches, Jastel, Howard, Crawford, Withnell, and Bradley picking up wins for the Cubs in their match against Republic. Next up in dual competition for Monett will be next Thursday, a week from tonight. They will be at Carl Junction taking on the Bulldogs and Logan Rogersville. And then that very next Saturday, the 16th, the Branson Invitational Tournament. Have you heard about who's going to be down there at the Branson Tournament? I know a lot of the Springfield schools come down that direction, but who else might be down there?
Actually, there's not too many of the actual city of Springfield schools. Trying to think of, we get a few of the Kansas City area schools that come down. I can't remember last year who all was there. I think Lee Summit was there.
See anybody come up out of Arkansas?
I don't think. I think last year maybe there's one team out of Arkansas. I think, and usually there's a couple St. Louis area schools that are there. So it's a really tough tournament. It's a good tournament and really tough tournament. And
again, that will be on January the 16th. And then the Cubs will be here at home on the 21st against Seneca. They've got Ozark and Central on the 26th, and that will be a road match. And then Neosho and the Cassville JV on the 28th. That also on this schedule, I've got them as a road match, but then on one schedule I saw it was a home match, so I'm going to have to check with Coach Bradley about that and get some clarification on that match against Neosho. Seneca tournament coming up the 29th and 30th of January, and then Bolivar and Joplin on the road, their final 2 duels of the year. Then they've got the Oak Grove Panther Classic, and then they jump into the district tournament, which will be February the 12th and the 13th. So I mean, you're looking just a little over a month, and districts is here already.
Yeah, and then we picked up that Oak Grove tournament, and that'll be a very, very, very tough tournament up there.
Yeah, because last year they went down to Springdale through the Diamond Duels and saw some great competition down there. So we're unable to get back into that one this year, but now going to Oak Grove.
Yeah, this will be a much, much tougher tournament. Much tougher. Be a lot of really good schools there from the Kansas City area, and really, really a tough tournament.
Yeah, because what was the other one where they used to go up in the Kansas City area?
We
There
used
was
to go up to Odessa.
Odessa. That was, yes, Odessa.
And that was a good tournament too. And we we replaced, used Harrisonville, replaced Springfield Holiday, and picked up the Oak Grove tournament. So it's picked up some good competition. So
Coach Bradley has made his way up here to the mezzanine level, so we'll visit with him real quickly and then let him get back to work. That's one thing with the wrestling program. Once the matches are completed, the night is not over because you got to break down all the matches, put all the mats, I should say, put all the equipment up. So it keeps going for a while after the contests are completed. Well, Coach, you split the duel here this evening. You beat McDonald County 48-28, fall to Republic 47-27. McDonald County, you took control early in that match, 2 quick wins, and that kind of snowballed into there, and you pick up some victories over the Mustangs. Republic did the exact same thing to you in their match. They got a couple of quick victories, and I know there was some really tight matches there in the middle, like matches 5, 6, 7, and 8. That was kind of looking go back and forth, but Republic got a win in one of those and kept their lead, and they were able to go on to the win.
I mean, one or two things happened there. I mean, we're probably coming out on top of that, but that's the way it goes. I mean, I saw a lot of good things tonight, and a lot of things we can improve on, and definitely shape is where we need to improve on, and a couple of our guys, young guys, I mean, they got to know when to kick it in. There's got to be that 5th gear, 6th gear, and and it's got to come when you're tired, and we got to get those things figured out. But saw some good things, but like I said, a couple of things go our way, and those will probably end up on top of that one. But Republic's a good team. They got a good team this year, senior loaded. They got some good kids. Starting
to get some of your players that were injured before the Christmas holiday back in the lineup too, and that's nice to see.
Yeah, I mean, we're still without a couple guys tonight. With Angel Vialta sitting out tonight, and Jordan Henson will most likely be our 70-pounder. When it's all said and done. But get those guys in there. I still think we're going to be a better team here in a week or two. So. But it's nice to get Onus down to 132 pounds. He looked good. I was really pleased with his effort tonight, and he looked good, and Brody looked good. He got caught there for a little. It's good to see him in the lineup at 38. So we're starting to figure things out. In 45, Jordan with Nell fought through a win there. But through the middle guys, I think we're going to start solidifying ourselves. Joel Barrientos, on the other hand, he had a state placer from Matt County. We had a 9-8 match with him at CJ, 5-4 match there, so we'll probably see him again this weekend. But he's certified at 106, and he'll wrestle there at the end of the year. But right now we're trying to get him every tough match we can.
Yeah, Gary and I were talking about that after watching him go against the Republic wrestler, and then we talked about that when he went up against Joel, that Gary said this one shapes up to be a good one because these kids have been wrestling at elite level for the last couple of years, and that's exactly what we saw, a tight match tonight.
Tight match, and we're 3-1 against the kids, so we've ended up on the last 2 years, so we've ended up on the good side of those. So but that's what we want. I mean, all this right here is just preparation for the the district state tournament. So Republic's got some hammers. They got some really good kids. I was impressed with them, the way they wrestled, especially that last match at 182. I mean, and we've known Noblet for a while, and I'm not sure if Ian's wrestling, but man, he's funky. He does some weird stuff, and Ian kind of got banged up a little bit. His shape isn't really there. Hadn't got down to 82 in a while. I'm sure that had a factor into it as well. But they've got some good solid wrestlers, and they'll do well.
And a couple of guys that, as Gary was pointing out, that competed here as youth wrestlers, O'Connell and Pyle, and then they moved to Republic. So that's a couple of guys that you have seen that are that you knew were good coming up.
Sure.
They competed in the youth program, and you knew they were going to be good wrestlers.
Yeah, we've known. I mean, even they've gone to camp with us. I mean, Hunter Pyle, of course, and who grew up in our youth program at 170, and Brandon O'Connell's always been around. They've gone to freestyle with us and things like that, and and also their 26-pounder. Also spends time. So we're real familiar with those guys. We know they can go, and but they're a good group of kids. I mean, I think the sportsmanship was there, and on both sides, and it got a little heated there, but that's what it's all about. Good competition, getting after it, and having fun. We'll build off this. You know, I definitely don't like losing, you know, but, you know, that's the way it goes sometimes. Somebody's got to win, somebody's got to lose. So,
One thing tonight, too, you got continue to work some of your freshmen into the lineup as well. And then, of course, in the match against McDonald County, you had to shuffle some guys around so you wouldn't have 2 open weight classes. And Rueda comes in and gets you a win.
Yeah, he came in, got us a win. And I was going to throw him out there if I needed him at 95, you know, bump him up. But, yeah, the duel's over.
He was already up like 2 classes?
Yeah, well,
or
he's 80. He weighed in at 82.
Okay.
So he
just
yeah. So I was going to bump him up to 95. They had a forfeit there if it was close, but no reason to put him in there at the end.
Right.
You know, the match is over.
I actually made mention of that. I thought, okay, if what happens if Meyer does get a pin and gets it down to a 6-point,
Rueda was going to go out there and get his hand raised. That's what was going to happen.
That was happening.
That was going to happen. But if it wasn't, you know, and maybe that factored into the decision too. Maybe Ian thought it, you know, hey, I got to go out there and get a pin, and I don't know. But yeah, the freshmen did. They wrestle like freshmen, you know. But some of them, I mean, but Jordan is going to get better with Nell, and then I love the spirit of some of our young guys. You know, Adam Card, he comes to work every day at 70, and he only weighs 165 pounds. He's wrestled a lot of 60 at JV, but he's just stepping in there. You know, doesn't ask. You know, he doesn't question anything. He just goes. So that's what you want to see. And then William Dangerfield, you know, in there at 20, he went out there and got a takedown. And he just hadn't quite gotten the feel for it yet, first-year wrestler. So we got several of those guys out there. But I like our attitude and the way we're wrestling better as a team. Practices are better, life is good. So we're gonna make a pretty good run here pretty soon. But after 20 days off, I have no reason to complain. We're ready for this weekend.
Yeah, after all the way back to the week before Christmas was the last time you had any competition. Definitely ready to get back on the mats for sure. Well, you split the duels tonight. Winning over McDonald County, falling to Republic, and now Monett Invitational Tournament coming up this week. You got 10 teams, including your own, coming here to wrestle on Saturday. And then we talk about how busy January is. You go to CJ next Thursday. Then you got the Branson Tournament that following Saturday. Seneca back here the following Thursday on the 21st. You got Ozark Central. Where's that match going to be at?
That's going to be at Ozark.
At Ozark on the 26th. And then you got Neosho and the Cassville JV. Cassville trying to get a program going again down there. Neosho, a perennial state power right there. Where was that one going to be at?
That's going to be in Neosho, too.
At Neosho, okay. And then, of course, then you're already looking at February, and then you're down to just 10 days before district starts.
It goes by quick. It goes by quick. So, but, you know, we've got a lot of good competition ahead of us. Our shape's going to get there. It always does. And hopefully we can continue to grow as a team and continue to get better and better every day. But we're just trying to take it one day, one match at a time, one tournament at a time. So I'm looking forward to this weekend. We got the Finney State champs, Oak Grove, and Clinton, Oklahoma was dual state runner-ups last year, and Bentonville was state champs over there in Arkansas. So we got some good teams coming in. You know, we lost Harrisonville and Westminster Christian, but it's a 10-team tournament now. Like we formatted it to where we'll have a final round. You know, so we'll have those finals. Hopefully starting around 4:30 on Saturday. So if you don't get around the tournament, you know, hey, come on, watch the finals, see some good wrestling. So it should be a fun time. And
you guys have got Monett Cubs have got some wrestlers that have a lot of success already this year in tournaments. I mean, Joel Barrientos has got a couple of tournament wins. Garrett Bradley's got a tournament championship. Ian Meyer's got a tournament championship. So you guys got a lot of guys that had success in tournament wrestling already.
We do. So, our JV's had more tournaments. The varsity's going to catch up this weekend, and we're hoping to just continue that.
That's the 44th annual Monett Wrestling Tournament this Saturday. Wrestling action starts at 9. 10 teams, including the Cubs, are going to be here. So we encourage you to come out. 4 mats spread all over the gymnasium floor. It's crazy. When you're up here at this level, on the mezzanine level, and you can see all 4 mats going at the same time, it's kind of like Gary and I were talking. It looks like chaos, but it's controlled chaos.
It's controlled chaos. It's good. We get it figured out. We get them through there. So, but I don't know. I'm very proud of where we're at. You know, as far as this tournament goes, where I was here, 16 years ago, the first year, and the teams that we've been able to attract, it really makes. I have a sense of pride in that. So. When you can get state championship teams to come to your tournament, you know you're doing something good, especially from out of state. So it's good.
Well, Coach, as always, we appreciate your time, and we wish you a lot of good luck this Saturday in the tournament. We'll catch up with you again next week.
Thanks, Sammy. Appreciate it.
Coach Darrell Bradley, head coach of the Cubs. They split tonight with McDonald County and Republic, and they've got their tournament this Saturday. Again, Bentonville, Arkansas, Bolivar, Clinton, Oklahoma, McDonald County, Nevada, Oak Grove, Rogersville, Reed Spring, and Willard, all competing along with the Cubs, and the tournament gets started at 9. You heard Coach Bradley say finals will start somewhere around 4. Should be a lot of fun and a lot of great competition this Saturday here at Monett High School with 4 mats spread out over the gymnasium floor. We'll be back with you next Thursday, and the Cubs will be on the road at Carl Junction against the Bulldogs and Rogersville. So it will be another double duel next Thursday over at CJ, Carl Junction and Rogersville from Carl Junction High School, and we hope you join us then, since he let me know that that match on the 28th is at Neosho. That one may be a little more difficult to try to squeeze in. We'll see about that one, but we'll definitely have the Carl Junction match and the Seneca match the following Thursday. So one on the road and one back here at home, and that one's always a dandy between the Cubs and the Indians. They wrestle in different classifications when it gets to the state tournament, but in the Big 8, they've got a great tradition of going head-to-head, and should be another good one this year, and we hope you join us for that one as well. Well, we do thank everyone for helping us out here tonight. Gary Meyer down visiting with his son right now. Of course, he was one of the wrestlers for the Cubs that may have had a little bit of an injury there, so he's checking him out right now. So we do appreciate his help once again here on the Talent Sports Network, helping us out with our wrestling broadcast. Daisy Calles for running the camera for us tonight. We sure appreciate her help also. Thank all of our Monett Cubs sponsors for helping support our broadcast throughout the season. You hear them every day mentioned on the radio. You hear them on our radio broadcasts, and we do thank them so very, very much for helping us with our high school coverage of Monett sports. They're the ones that make it happen, helping us get these games out on the airwaves, and we do appreciate that very much, all of our Monett Cubs sponsors for helping support our broadcast. Coast to Coast, Bruner Pharmacy, Cox Health Monett, Huffmaster Insurance, First State Bank, the Bayou Restaurant, Tyson Foods, Randall Click Shelter Insurance, Jack Henry & Associates, Monett Rental and Sales, Monett Cubs Athletic Booster Club, Community National Bank, John Woodard, Attorney at Law, and Race Brothers Farm and Home Supply, helping us get these broadcasts out on the airwaves. Well, that's going to do it. We hope you enjoyed the double duel tonight. Monett beats McDonald County 48-28. The Cubs fall to Republic 47-27, and Republic ends up sweeping the night as they also beat McDonald County 51-18. Again, thanks so much for joining us. We look to rejoin you next week for Monett Cubs Wrestling here on Monett Web TV and the Talent Sports Network. But for tonight, from Monett High School, everyone have a pleasant evening.